Hello to all my friends and fans and anyone that might be listening. I recently felt moved to start a new series. This series will be me playing a bunch of different games on a website known as Kongregate. When I was younger, I enjoyed playing all sorts of different kinds of games: puzzle games, adventure games, role playing games. And I one day discovered a website, Kongregate, that has currently over 100,000 public games that you can hop on and play, no download necessary. A lot of them are Flash games, and I'm worried that one day these games might disappear and I won't be able to play them anymore. So I want to have living proof that they existed, and I want to share them with more people and encourage people to go and try them out. They've offered me countless hours of entertainment, and with that, I'd like to introduce you to Heroes Arms. Heroes Arms was the first game I played on this website, and to say, suffice it to say, I enjoyed this game a lot. I've personally rated it 5 stars, mainly because the game focuses on entertainment rather than balance. You'll see what I mean when we get further into the game. It's created by Berserk Studio, and it has a very Legend of Zelda-esque vibe to it. You'll see what I mean. Let's get started. I'm going to delete that and create a new character. Let's name him Rix. A long time ago, in a land far, far away, lived a big, armored guy who spent his time making meaningless circular explosions in the countryside. People were getting really annoyed with this, but no one dared stand against the mighty Gordzak. One day, a young boy who was passing by laughed at Gordzak, for he had a pretty gross spaghetti sauce stain in the corner of his mouth. Embarrassed, Gordzak had to run back home to wipe it off. But in his wrath, Gordzak challenged the poor kid. "Come to my place, I mean palace, if you think you're so smart. I'll beat you on Super Pedro Bros 3, and then I'll crush you." But even though he tried to look tough, Gordzak was kind of a wuss, and he never let anyone in his lair that easily. He decided to hide in his bedroom watching earnest movies all day so he would not have to face the kid. So that's how Rix began this great journey to Gordzak's palace. The road ahead is a long and perilous one, but it sure looks like a lot of fun. Let's go. So, I have beaten this game once before, and I kind of know where to go, so I'm going to be skipping over dialogue, because it's not usually worth it to speak with villagers. Now here's the interesting thing, is unlike Legend of Zelda, you can level up. You can level up your attack to deal more damage, level up your health to have more health, and level up your magic gauge so that you have more magic for magical attacks. Personally, I prefer leveling up attack. It's the most versatile. You always have it. But as you can see, we kind of have just a stick as our primary weapon, so we have to work on that, get a better weapon. Now, although I've played this before, I'm far from a professional. So there might be some mistakes, but I think I can guide us on the right path. This will be a town, and if we get enough money, there's a couple cool items that we can buy from this shop. But for now, we're going to have to back out. I don't think there's anyone else worth talking to. That is magic attack. I forget. Space is the map. The map isn't horribly large, but it takes a little bit of navigating to figure out where you have to go. Right now, the enemies are kind of easy. The rats are a little bit harder. Spiders are a breeze. I believe there is, not in this menu, but on the main menu, there might be a bestiary for all the different enemies you encounter in this game, which is more than I expected initially. Now, I'm looking for a way to get to this square right here, which I don't think I'll find this way. I know there's a path to the south and east of town, across the bridge. So I think this is where we're gonna go. When they start flashing like that, you want to back off, because they're gonna do an attack you can't block. The shield you start off with is kind of cruddy, but it'll get better over time as you get new weapons. These guys, I can block their attacks. They're ranged attacks. Sometimes it's better to lock them into a stun so they can't hit you. I'm not particularly worried about my health right now. I probably should be. What kind of sucks is that you can only attack on one of the 4 cardinal directions. You can't be facing sideways, but your stick kind of has... Yeah. They see how he hit me, but he wasn't facing me directly. Your weapons kind of have a little bit of a arc to it, if you see the swing. So you can hit enemies even if you aren't facing them directly. Now, enemies can drop health, so I'm hoping for that, even magic. I believe this cave is the one where we get a better weapon, which we could really use. Because I don't know how we're going to defeat an evil overlord with just a stick. Nope. That's no good. Be really embarrassing to die this early on, but I think I got this. Plus, what's a little bit of risk, if not more fun? We could go there. We could go there. I'm thinking this way will be more dangerous, but more rewarding. Yeah, we gotta deal with this guy. Ooh, health and magic. Much appreciated. Oh, and there we go. Our first death. Not to worry, we start right back at the cave entrance. Probably should be playing a little bit more careful, but I don't know. I'm just happy to be playing this game again because I had a lot of fun with it the first time, and the end game had a lot of surprises. Usually it gets, I don't know, drags on in a lot of games' end game, but it was refreshing. We could definitely use some more health. Although the health bar doesn't appear to move, I do actually have more health. You'll have to see it when I take damage. Alright, let's try... There we go. And we might use a couple magic attacks on the ranged guys. I think this door's... Nope, that door's not locked, and it has a lot of bats in it. Did I find the bat cave? And some money. Won't ever say no to that. It's kind of weird recording a game by myself, because normally I have friends to talk to, or music, or a video running in the background. So I feel like I have to constantly be filling up the emptiness. I mean, there's music playing, but guess I'm still new to this whole recording thing. The door didn't open up, so I bet you there's a switch. We have to kill all these guys again. Well, if we do die, we know where to go. That chicken nugget will help. Chicken stick. Why can't I think of what that's called? It's not chicken nugget. Meat stick. That's what we're gonna call it from here on out, unless I remember what the actual name for it is. Right now the bats aren't too much of an enemy, neither were the spiders, but just you wait. Later on you do get a couple ranged weapons, and that helps against these guys, but right now we just have to use our creativity. There we go. One less one helps a lot. I don't think we have to kill everything, but let's do that just in case there's a secret. Oh, we had to, because the door locked on us. Alright. Back to the other room. Because now that door should be unlocked. A good tip for this game is if you don't know where to go, try going somewhere new. Because we have to kill everything here again. If on your map there's an unexplored area, and a lot of these areas you can't, it's just wall, but explore around. You can see where rooms connect to, and you can see we haven't been in this room yet. So with that lever, that's probably the room that opened up. We get leveled up again. I believe, if memory serves correctly, level 20 is actually the max. You can max out on stats. So we're on our way there. But, I don't know. The game takes about an hour to finish. I think I'm going to try and play through to the end in one recording session. I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch that. But if you do stick around to the end, I think you'll find a couple surprises with the game that might encourage you to go play it. No need to fight those guys. With a better weapon will come a wider area covered with our attacks. So, like I said, it's gonna be real hard to take on a evil overlord with just a stick. Now here we have something interesting. And let's open her up. A sword. The good old stick wasn't really sharp. This is much better. And thus begins our journey as a real hero. If the doors are unlocked, we can just leave. Yeah, and you can see we can do a lot more damage with this sword. Only 2 hits to kill these guys rather than the 5, 6. With the stick. Now I don't know exactly where we have to go next, but I do know roughly. There are I want to say three dungeons, at least for now, that we have to take on. With the sword, we can break these bushes that we weren't able to earlier. Opens up a couple new paths for us. I do have to say, these guys, the rock throwing rats, one of the most annoying enemies in the early game. Because your movement is, like I said, you can move diagonally, but you won't face diagonally, so it's hard to attack them. So, I believe this is our first dungeon. We can go in any direction, so let's go left first. Actually, if memory serves correctly, technically it's cheating, but, you know. A piece of meat didn't really help much, but no point letting it rot in a chest like that. I think there will be a dungeon item this direction, kind of like Legend of Zelda. It's not my favorite. Oh, there's a lever. I want to kill everything in the room, just to be sure. Even though I can't leave until I kill everything, but if I could, I'd still want to, because there could be secrets for clearing an entire room. I could use all the experience and gold that I can get. Off we go back to the left room, which I think the door would have been locked had we gone this way first, which, considering the types of enemies that are here, I'm very glad that I took the right path first to get this door unlocked. Just gonna hit the lever real quick. I do not know exactly what opened up, but if I had to guess, the forward path that I completely ignored was probably locked. So, we're taking on this dungeon in the most efficient way possible. A little bit of an invisible wall there. Don't know what that was. It's not that the rocks hurt a lot, it's that they hurt just enough for it to be a nuisance. Just because I don't like bats. Onward! We can ignore you. I like the game's art style a lot, actually. Up our attack whenever possible. You could always just save your experience to keep on leveling your attack, but it's good to have a certain level of progression equally. Our forward path is blocked, so since we had to go this way first last time, I'm gonna guess this way first. And I think I'm wrong. Oh, of course. Well, that's nice. Let's just see what's ahead. I'm gonna leave that on the ground in case I need it. Probably gonna take damage in this room. I believe they despawn when I leave. I don't need it, so I'm good. But I don't know if they just stay there as long as you stay in the area. The meat sticks, as I call them. Doesn't look like there's much in here. Oh, and there's our key. Just because I can. So that should open the front door in the main room that was locked. I could kill those guys for some money, but not really feeling it right now. There's plenty of opportunities to make money later. So, I could go ahead, but I like to explore, so. Looks like I got hit there and didn't notice it. A whole lot of slimes in here. I know they can split. I do not think they can like form together to make a really big slime. So dispatch all those guys, and we have a bunch of zombies. So these guys have a lot of health, but they move very predictably and very slowly. So they have a lot of health. It's not really hard to dispatch them as long as you keep them in a group. And even if you don't, you'll probably be fine as long as you don't get cornered. And there we go. Extra key, which we'll probably need in a bit. So that's nice. Now we gotta take these guys out again. Use a magic attack to clear a bunch of them. No point saving it always. I think we're coming up to our first boss fight, actually, which is probably some items I could have gotten if my memory wasn't so fuzzy to help with this outside of the dungeon, but I think we'll be alright. And here's our first dungeon weapon. The Boomeraxe. So the Boomeraxe is a boomerang axe. It's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It does have a special magic attack, though, which I will show off in the boss room, because I do not have a lot of magic. Unless that drops. Nope, doesn't drop a meat stick. So I have the key from that other room, and the magic attack will throw out two boomerang axes, heat-seeking, at enemies nearby. So the disadvantage is I don't attack as fast, so as a result I can't knock my enemies away. But I can throw this diagonally, which helps with those rock-throwing rats. Also, since I have some room between myself and ranged enemies, I can block while I'm waiting for the axe to hit them and come back. I completely forgot about that chest, didn't I? Yeah, I didn't think I could open it up from here. Alright, what's inside? A piece of meat. Yummy. I suppose the Boomeraxe is a good weapon if you want to take things slow. There are better options down the line, so it's not my favorite weapon, but it's nice to have variety. Can this guy please stop? Thank you. Oh, jeez. Alright. You can switch weapons at any time, as well as your armor and shield if you had any other options. That peg soldier, a lot faster than a zombie, and not as easily to dodge, so. Oh, and our first boss. So, in my defense, those bats spawned on me, otherwise it would have been fine. The bats have a chance to drop some food. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Now when his eye glows blue, he'll do 4 ranged attacks. That's alright, because we already have all the doors unlocked, so we can get to the boss real fast with full health. And we have our Boomeraxe. The game doesn't really punish you a lot for dying, which is nice, because I think games are meant to be played for fun. Let's level up our health. I can already tell I'm gonna need that a lot. This is not the sort of game that you should play if you only have 10-20 minutes, unless you intend on playing in sessions, unlike me. But, due to how much moving around I'm doing, my hand's already kind of getting a little cramped on the arrow keys. So, after this boss, I don't know, maybe I'll take a break. His attack patterns aren't horribly hard to predict. As long as it's here. In a lot of these boss fights, it boils down to taking it slow. Which I am evidently not good at. I do not even know if this boss has a name, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oop. Bracers. Nope. Oh. I don't know if he's gonna attack or not. There it is. This is a, by technology standards, an older game, actually. From definitely before 2010. I don't know the exact date, but I'd have to guess. Maybe 2008. And there we go. Magic up, why not? But, still looks really good, even for 2020. And with that, our first of many rewards, a scout badge. This could be used to make a clever disguise. Combine it with another object, and you will be able to gain access to Gordzak's lair. And with that, I think I'm going to take a break for now, because my hand's cramping up. But I will definitely play more. I want to get through the game, at least this game, and possibly play other games, and show whoever might want to watch these videos a bunch of different games you might not have known that exist. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.